All right, first things first, did you drink too much eggnog? Because I'm ready for this show.
Do you love eggnog?
I love my eggnog.
No.
That's eggnog.
It's good. It's good.
Have you had the Homestead Creamery eggnog?
The Homestead Creamery.
Oh my gosh. How good is that?
You know what? Let me tell you how good it is. You better keep your shoes on because it'll knock your socks off. That's how good it is.
I've got one in my fridge right now.
That's how good it is.
So good.
I don't think I'm a huge fan of eggnog. I have not really jumped on.
When Clark scoops it down there,
the moose cup.
He's got the moose cup and he takes a sip and it's good. It's good. It's good.
Oh my gosh! I actually watched that last night.
The little lights aren't on.
Hey, the little lights aren't on because the Christmas spirit around here. I only had one tree last week that you guys made fun of. I decided,
two trees.
Now we have two trees. I don't want Matt to get jealous that he doesn't have a Christmas tree on the show. So, I'm just trying to make everyone happy. But what do you know? Joe Yock found a way to, ruin the Christmas spirit that one of the lights
Not
aren't
ruining
on.
the Christmas spirit.
We're
full of the Christmas spirit.
Last week you said, these little lights, you can't even see them.
It's Christmas.
We are going to talk about Liberty Athletics because that's what this podcast is actually all about, even believe it or not. Let me try to say this. The Liberty Flames and the Toledo Rockets are playing in the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl. I keep
Powered by Mortgage.
Yeah.
But this is the Flame Central podcast powered by
Alcova Mortgage.
Okay, thank you. Just had to get that out there. So the Flames going bowling for the fourth straight season. Have never lost in a bowl game, but things look a little different this year. Head coach Hugh Freeze leaving town. Interim head coach Josh Aldridge, who will join us shortly, is going to be leading the Flames into battle. So a lot of factors.
Moving parts.
A lot
of moving parts.
Jamie Chadwell obviously not taking part in any of the bowl festivities because he's out recruiting to put together a team for next year. So what are our initial thoughts on what to expect from the Flames in this bowl game with all of these moving parts?
Yeah, listening to some of the guys talk here this week, you're kind of just wanting to see like that look, right? And Josh Aldridge has even talked about it. We're trying to get our edge back right now. We're trying to find that confidence again. And I think that's the biggest thing for the Flames because the talent is still on the field. Sure, some guys have left since then and went to the portal, whatever. But there's still enough talent on the field for Liberty to go out there and win this game. There is. Yeah. But what we're looking for, and I think all Liberty fans are looking for, is what we really didn't see as the season kind of wrapped up, which is, like, where's that fight? Where's the focus? Mm-hmm. Because we know there were a lot of distractions. And then where's that edge? Where's that fight? And like we've kind of said all year long, it really all starts for this team up front on the defensive line. They're the ones that need to kind of set the tone.
Joe Yock, how realistic is it to think that the Flames can come in here and actually win this game with all of this emotional disruption?
100%. I mean, this one ain't even close in my mind. This one isn't even close. That last game had more stink than a skunk Christmas party. Okay? And that's a lot of stink. Yeah. Okay. And so you have that game that you think is this senior crew and the good leaders that are on this football team. Yeah. The Scruggs, Darrell Johnson, Mike Smith, especially on the defense of Trayshawn Clark, on the defensive side of the football, is that they're not going out like that.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, these dudes are going to be fired up. It was disappointing to themselves first and foremost, disappointing to the school, disappointing to the fan base, and there is no way this team has got pride and they've got character and they want to put a great game together and they are going to be jacked up to play this. In my mind, and I'm just saying this, that I really believe this, in my mind going to this game, Liberty's going to win this football game. They're going to win this football game.
Let's go.
I'm calling it right now.
Let's go.
And then you got. I think the defensive guys look at the offense again. This is how it works in a football in the locker room.
Okay.
This is how it goes in the locker room, right?
Thank you.
What happens in a locker room is not all this lovey-dovey like, oh, you guys are the best offense and you guys are the best defense and you got to pick each other up. It ain't. I hate to break the news to you, but in a real locker room, it ain't like that. It's more like you guys. Hey, we're going to dominate you. Okay, when they get into practice and spring ball in the fall camp, it's defense versus offense, right? And they're pressing each other, they're pushing each other, and they want each other to be better. So I guarantee you, this game's gonna be like, hey, Caden Salter, hey, Demario Douglas, you guys better get over there and you better live up to your side of the deal and score some points for this bowl game and then Caden Salter, they're like, hey, you better not let Javier Pagio Perio, whatever his guy's name was from New Mexico State.
Pavia. Diego Pavia.
Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
You better not let Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
In this case, it's the Finster.
Yeah.
You better not let Finn run up and down the field on you.
Ooh.
And so there's a challenge in the locker room that they got to get the job done, and that fuels each other.
Yeah.
I
fuels each other.
hope so. And when you really think about it, senior day was not ideal for these guys.
Oh.
Right.
And now
That's
that
one way to put it.
distraction and those rumors are out of the way with Coach Freeze, like these guys aren't coming back next year. So yes, we're excited to have Chadwell as part of this team and leading this program. But at the end of the day, they don't care.
The
They
seniors,
want to
you
go
mean? Yeah,
right.
the seniors,
when you're all said and done, they want to go out and the last time in a college uniform and play
Well,
ball.
what will you remember?
Right.
Well, you'll remember this.
Yeah.
Like for these guys,
Fourth
if
ring, baby.
you do
Fourth
it
ring.
right,
Fourth
you're
ring.
not going to remember what was your
Right,
senior day.
right.
Everybody wants that great memory. You're not even going to think about that. You're going to remember what we did in the roofclaim.com
Mouth
Boca
of
Raton
the
Bowl.
Rat Bowl.
Is that what Boca Raton
Boca
means?
Raton. Did you know that's what that means?
Really?
The
Huh?
mouth Boca,
Boca.
is
Is
mouth.
that right?
We're moving to
Raton.
Boca.
Those are my stomping grounds. So if you guys need any suggestions,
See you on the shuffleboard court.
That's right.
We're
There's some
coming
good-
in
I bet
lock,
there's some good
stock, and
pickleball down
barrel.
there. I bet there's some good pickleball down in Boca.
Somebody's
Okay.
going to the bowl game and somebody's going to be playing some pickleball.
over under how long did it take for us to talk about pickleball?
Before,
Yeah.
listen,
Okay.
I want to put off your point right there. Okay, here's the other thing that's good, and I put this on the Twitter machine, right? I put this out on the Twitter machine, and that is Ian McCaw made the right decision in hiring Josh Aldridge to be the interim head coach, because that's the guy to straighten the ship out.
Yeah.
Right. That's the
Right.
guy that's going to get them fired up, get them ready to play, and get them prepared. So that was a good call. No doubt.
And let them have fun. I feel like they're letting loose a little bit and they're focused and they're going to be ready to play in this game. But I think, you've seen on social media, they're having balloon fights and they're going movie nights and stuff like that. I mean, you're going down to South Florida to practice for 3 or 4 days and then go play in a football game in a beautiful stadium, a mile from the beach. Like, go live it up, guys. I'm pumped for them. But we've talked enough, and we will hear from Coach Aldridge in just a moment. But let's talk a little bit about this Toledo team because, Jason Candle has been leading that program for 7 seasons. So that there's he's established a culture. These guys know how to play, and it's definitely going to be a fight for liberty.
Well, I think the biggest thing, and I know Joe's going to get into, he has a lot of good points here on this, but for me, one of the big things I'm looking at is you talk about DeQuan Finn, their quarterback, who is a dual threat guy. And so you think about, who can you, is that,
I was like,
where's she?
what are you doing?
I was like,
A
where's she
fin?
going with
Yeah.
that?
A fin and the shark in the Boca Raton
Okay,
waters.
well,
Oh wow, you could
Can-
that. Yeah, they could.
Yeah, if you guys need a reporter for the game,
Yeah,
I am
okay.
available. My
Toledo-
line-
yeah,
you
let
can
go,
use
go,
my
go,
line.
go,
I'm
go.
sorry.
Sorry,
Matt's
go
mad
ahead.
because I interrupted him for the
I
first
mean,
time this
with that,
Flame Central
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Powered by-
Dual threat guy.
With that.
He averages 55 rushing yards per game, leads the team. 8 rushing TDs, most on the team. Tied for the most rushing attempts on the team despite missing 2 games with injury. So I was thinking, okay, how have the Flames fared this season against
Oh, I like where
dual
you're
threat
going with this.
quarterbacks?
Ooh, I do.
So I went back a little bit and looked.
Oh.
Be
KJ
prepared.
Did his
KJ
research.
Jefferson, Arkansas. Liberty held him to his second fewest rush yards in a game this season. DJ Irons for Akron, a mobile guy. Liberty held him to his lowest rush yards in a game this year. It was actually -1 after some of the tackles for loss. The one that really jumps out that you hope is
Oh,
the
gosh.
anomaly
Oh,
is your boy
gosh.
and mine,
Love him.
Diego Pavia, who ran for
Diego!
a season best 125
Wherever
yards,
you
which
go,
was
Diego.
a quarter of his rush yards on the season. So
Wow.
do we throw that out?
Throw
I
it
think we throw that out. And you say there was
Chop
a
it.
lot of other stuff going on there. But on the whole, this year, the Flames have done a really good job of keeping guys that can burn you with their legs, of keeping that from happening, of keep making them pass from the pocket, of pressuring them and making them uncomfortable. And so I think that's going to be the key. By the way, if you get after Finn a little bit, he has 12 interceptions in 11
He
games,
stole the
including
words, stole the words
7
right
interceptions
out of my mouth.
in his last 4 games. Now, he
Oh,
didn't
wow.
throw any in the MAC title game, but he has thrown a lot of interceptions here down the stretch. So you get after him, you put a little pressure on him. I think that could be beneficial for the Flames, and they may reap the rewards in the back.
I wonder if Rocket, not Toledo Rockets, but Liberty's Rocket Rahimi is going to get some of those interceptions.
You're just trying to tie them all in.
It is. It feels really good.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yeah.
So you got this running quarterback.
Yep.
1,254 careers. So he's consistently done it.
Yeah.
Okay. 9 touchdowns in 2021 and 8 in 2022. So
Yeah.
this guy has proven that he can do it over a couple of years. But that's the bad news. Here's the good news. Liberty leads the nation in tackles for losses. What causes tackle for losses? Penetration on the offensive side of the football. That's why when you see Matt Warner, the KJ Jefferson, because if you can get to a guy who's a runner quickly, right? And that's what you have to do. The problem is when you let a runner sit back in the pocket and your guys are stuck, at sooner or later, they're going to take an edge and go one way or the other. That's all a quarterback does. He watches your defensive end, he's getting hung up, and then, he took the edge inside. He lost contain, then I'm going to break out. What Liberty does a great job of, and Coach Aldridge does a great job with his front, is his slants, his blitz packages that causes penetration quickly. And when you can get penetration in the offensive backfield quickly, you can shut down a dual threat quarterback.
And we've seen
and that's their specialty.
The interior of that defensive line. We've seen the Asagares, the Kendi Charles give that push right up the middle, and then basically he's turning and running into the arms of a Darrell Johnson or a Trayshawn Clark.
Kendi Charles is one of the most utilized weapons on it. He goes a little bit unsung hero. Yeah. And when you look at overall, if you sit down with the guy we talked to Coach Aldridge about this, is you can line him at nose tackle. All right, and he'll bull rush you and run your center over, where he does that good is late in games. When people get tired, he gets better, right? And then at the same time, you can take him out to a 9 technique, move him to the outside, and then rush him upfield or bring him on the twist because he runs well enough to bring him back on the twist game. When you can take a big guy that size and move him around the field, man, it opens everything up. That's why you see so many. He's one of the main reasons why you see so many tackles for loss by Liberty defense.
When you look at Liberty's offense, they've averaged 28.2 points per game. That's good for 68th in the country. I think the quarterback shuffle has been a factor in that. So with that quarterback shuffle, 4 guys, who's playing under center for the Flames, or who should?
I mean,
it's
Aldridge said
top secret.
Yeah, it could be all of them. It could be, we might see the superback in this game. Like
it could be the superback.
That's
the old Southern Miss. The old Southern Miss superback.
Yeah, right.
Frank Gore.
Yeah.
Fred Gore.
I don't know. I think it's probably, if I had to guess, would likely be some combination of Bennett and Salter, like we've seen, when Salter's been healthy. But I'll say this. I like the approach from Aldridge. He's not trying to he's upfront about it. You're asking me about offense? I'm not telling you about it. He's not even trying to play the whole be vague. He's just like, no, I'm not going to tell you. And why would you at this point?
Right.
Leave it as just mysterious as possible for a Toledo defense to have to try to figure it out.
Right. How difficult is that for a defense to figure that out? Or is it not? Or
what if the Flames came out and it's like, they're running the triple option.
They're going triple option.
Aldridge was sitting back watching Army Navy, and he's like,
we can do this. We can do this.
We can do this.
It's not
they
that
pass
hard.
it 3 times, and they run the triple option.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's got cooked
DeMario
up.
In the run game, I feel like he had success.
You know what? That's a good point. The DeMario in the run game, when you watch Akron on film, they're really
Toledo.
good. Toledo. Sorry, Akron. Sorry.
Yeah.
Toledo. When you watch Toledo on film, they're really good in the interior of their defense. The 2 guys inside, it's Deshaun Johnson and then the Hines kid. Both those guys are really good. When they get pressed, they get pushed. It's going to be hard to run the ball in between the tackles. It's going to be difficult. But you go back to that UConn game where they had to get a little creative in the run game. Bringing DeMario Douglas in the run game might be a factor that you potentially can see.
And you talked about the coaching staff for Toledo. If you want to go unsung heroes, maybe their defensive line coach, Craig Kuligowski, is one of the best in the country. You think about, and I know where I'm from, I know that name. He was at Mizzou back when they were going to the SEC title game with Pinkel. So he had the Alden Smiths, the Shane Rays, he had all of those when Mizzou was putting NFL guys from the D-line. They were pumping those guys out. He was that dude. and he is one of the better defensive line coaches in the country.
He's
And-
spot on.
and I heard-
Matt Warren's research. I did not know that.
I know.
Matt Warren's research is spot on.
It is. I heard that he has more beef than a Texas cattle ranch, too.
Oh,
why did you steal my line?
She just stole your line.
You just talked about those two guys, and it's with a star right there on your notes,
More
and he
business
didn't
than
use it.
Texas
I'm
cattle
not.
ranch.
He
You started
was
it.
supposed to use that on our Flame Central show, and
Don't
he
you
never
hate-
Okay, stop,
he never
stop,
went
stop,
to
listen,
it.
listen.
So I want to make sure we're getting these
Yeah,
great
hold on.
lines.
He's got another one. Hold on, he's got to back up.
Okay, listen. Toledo has a cornerback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good player.
Mitchell.
Yeah. It's how you say his friend, Keon? I think it's Quinn. Yeah.
Quinn?
Quinn?
Quinyon?
Quinyon. Matt's
Mitchell.
Matt's
Maybe, I
the
don't know.
pronunciation guy. Quinyon Mitchell. Okay, listen to this. 4 picks versus Northern Illinois. 4, right? 2 of them went back for
touchdowns,
went
yeah.
back for touchdowns. Okay.
Yeah. You got a star next to it.
He leads the nation in 20 passes defended too.
He's second team All-American.
Yeah.
Second team All-American. I mean, the guy can play. He's got more picks than the Cowboys in the '89 Herschel Walker trade.
No, that was good.
Not a lot of
That
people
was-
will get that.
That was historical.
That was historical. But
Informational
you have to be
as
a
well.
football
Yeah, right.
fan to get
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You didn't get that.
I didn't get that. No,
Did you
It just,
get it?
I'm still looking at it
The
going over my
89
head.
Herschel Walker trade
Okay.
built the Dallas
Guess
Cowboys
what?
to
I
win
was
Super
born
Bowls.
in '89,
Yeah.
Joe
Oh
Yock.
my
So
gosh.
get it together. All right, anything else we want to touch on before we go into our Josh Aldridge?
Yes. Last thing for me would be, and this is more of a question for you, Joe. Ahmad Walker's not going to be playing for this defense,
Yeah.
right?
Huge.
Transferred out.
Yeah.
What does that do for this defense? And in some ways, have the Flames been well prepared for this because he got ejected for targeting in 2 out of the last 3 games?
And I think you like people worry about that a lot in bowl games,
Yeah.
right? But what you have to understand is that a lot of the second and third team guys that are out there, they're really good players, but they just don't get a chance to play. And so now when you see, hey, so-and-so opted out of this bowl game or that bowl game, and then all of a sudden you see these guys, you start seeing people in bowl games like, wait, where's this guy been, right? Well, he's been on the bench because he's been behind so-and-so. And you have a couple things going on, especially for Liberty, is this is an audition, okay? Because Jamie Chadwell is going to be watching the football game, and this is the first impression he's going to get. So if you're a backup and X is not playing, Y is not playing, Z is not playing, and you get the opportunity to play, this is your audition to show what you can do as you prepare to go into the offseason and into spring football. So I think it's a great opportunity where guys who have a ton of motivation to play really well, and they're good players.
Yeah. Obviously, you'd love to have him out there, but I think one other thing that does help is this isn't the situation where we've seen where it's all of a sudden one play and you're like, oh, shoot, now we've got to figure out how to play without him.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have had plenty of time to scheme Jack Curtis, Josh Aldridge, all those guys to figure out, okay, this isn't a surprise now.
Yeah.
He's not sitting over here on the bench because of a penalty.
So it's target pattern, right,
now we
so
have time
right.
to prepare to make up for that.
Another guy in this defense, Scruggs, I found it interesting yesterday how these guys have turned into leaders, or they've always led this team, right? But a lot of the guys yesterday in the press conferences saying that this is a more player-led team than ever before, with the exit of Coach Freeze. But Scruggs also saying that he's giving advice to some of these younger players. He's gone through 2 coaches changes, and I know he's not going to be here next year, but he had Freeze come in from Gill, and then now Chadwell come in for Freeze. So it's interesting that he's telling these players, like, if you're going in the transfer portal solely because there's a coach's change, guess what? You're going to have a new coach wherever you transfer to. So it was just interesting to see, like, these guys offering that advice to some of these younger players because it is a really confusing time.
Sure, yeah. And he said, the grass isn't always greener, and that's true. And you told the stat last week, I think about, was it 40% of the guys that go into the portal end up at the same level or better. Right. The rest get kind of lost in the shuffle. And so, his whole message was just hang tight. Don't make any rash decisions. Yeah. Just see how some stuff shakes out. It doesn't have to be right now. Think about this. Think about some of the guys that Liberty added out of the portal, like Dennis Asagade. What Josh Aldridge said, he was very late in the process.
Yeah.
So like everyone's like, oh, I got to get in right now. Like, just slow down.
Right.
Let some things play out. Get to see what Coach Chadwell's staff is going to look like. There's no rush. There's no rush. And I think that's been the message that Javon Scruggs has been trying to preach to some of the younger guys.
All right, still so much to cover. We have bold predictions a little bit later in the show, so you don't want to miss that. But for now, let's check in with interim head coach Josh Aldridge. Let me just tell you how grateful and thankful we are that interim head coach Josh Aldridge took the time to come on the Flame Central podcast.
Powered by, who's that, Coach?
Alcova Mortgage.
Yes!
Yeah, see, yeah, he's on board.
Alcova
All
Mortgage.
right.
Team Alcova.
Yeah,
So here's the deal. The press conferences on Monday are usually right before we start taping the Flame Central podcast
Right.
powered by Alcova Mortgage. And we have to like scoot out a little early.
I feel
when-
bad every week. I sit in
It's
there,
so
I sit there for
bad.
Coach Freeze, and he finishes, and I walk out right as Coach Aldridge is walking in, and he
Oh.
always just kind of looks at me like,
You're
really?
not staying?
Really?
You know, I wouldn't do that to you, Coach.
But
you
it's
wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd be
because
right
we're
there with
coming-
you to the end. That's
yeah,
a team.
it's because we're coming to tape the podcast, so we apologize. So thank you for coming on this show. Talk to us about how much of a whirlwind the last few weeks have been for you.
It's a lot, just the interview process, obviously, and then after that, hiring a head coach. And, you feel like you've got one foot on the 23 season and another one on the 22 season because I'm helping recruit for the 23 season, but I'm trying to hold together the 22 season, right? And you're short a bunch of coaches, obviously, and a few players, obviously. So just that's really been the biggest thing is just holding that group together, the coaching staff and the players. And whoever shows up for the plane tomorrow, that's who we'll take with us. So
Love it.
that's just our mentality.
I know it's, obviously a weird situation. You named the interim head coach. Do you feel like even in this kind of weird in-between stage, like, are you trying to put your stamp on the preparation or the way you guys are going about it? Are you trying to do anything? You're not Coach Freeze. You're not Coach Shadwell. Are you making use of this time to kind of say, all right, this is how I'm going to do it? Are you changing much? Like, what's that been like?
It hasn't been as much about putting my stamp on it as much as I want the players, especially these older guys, to finish the way they want to finish, right? So we've changed up some things at practice that they've requested and things like that. So it's less about me and more about them, and that's not the company line. I really mean that. I just want those guys to go out on top, and I want it to be fun, right? They've been through a lot this year, a lot of highs and lows, and I just want it to be fun and them to enjoy this last week.
Yeah. Have you had to step away because of the duties of being a head coach and give more responsibility to Coach Curtis with the defensive game plans and stuff, preparing for the bowl game? Or have you been like, hey, I'm just going to, I understand I have to wear the head coach hat right now, but I'm going to prepare as the defensive coordinator with Coach Curtis? Or have you had to hand a little bit more of that over to him?
It really hadn't been very different. Being the interim head coach, I'm not making any decisions within the program because we have a head coach, right?
Yeah.
I'm just really I'm the coach for the preparation of the bowl game for Toledo, right? So there's not a ton of prep involved that's any different for me. Now at practice, I let Jordan Cantrell run the endo with the linebackers a little more so I can float and encourage everybody and stuff, but nothing's really changed there.
Okay.
So.
I mean, when you sign up for college football, I feel like this is just part of the game and how it works in this profession. But what do you think you've learned in the last few weeks?
I've learned that it's just a total different dynamic now that you have the transfer portal and things like that, right? Before guys just learn to deal with it or this, that, and the other, stick it out, and now, it's almost like not an excuse, but it's a way out, right? Yeah. And right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what it is. And so just trying to say, hey, trust it and see this through. Right? See this through. The Liberty's a good place. I tell these recruits all the time, to be quite honest, it doesn't matter if Mickey Mouse is the head coach at Liberty. They'll probably be pretty good just in terms of the resources we get. Now, whether they win 10 instead of 8 or, you win a championship as opposed to being good, all those things, I think coaching matters there. But Liberty, at a minimum, has the foundation to be a solid place just because of the resources in our administration and our locale for recruiting.
We're going to dive into Toledo, but very important question before we talk about the game plan. Do you play pickleball?
Oh. Well, you brought it.
I
saw there was a champion crown.
Yeah, it's not a crown. It's not about me. It's not about me.
Looked like it was cold too.
It was freezing cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
Freezing cold.
Let me tell you something.
He has been walking around the office.
Matt and I
talking about the tell him what it's like to have your own league and not win it.
Yeah, well, I have one league. I am a champion. My name is on the banner, so back off.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with that. Now,
Coach,
Matt,
we have blazers.
We have blue blazers.
You get a little crest when you win or a champion. I'll need to get that added to mine. It is exactly.
I have never been invited.
Coach,
it's a classier version.
It's so
of that.
ridiculous.
Saturday night is a Christmas party, and I just want to let you know we have a band. They're called the Pickle Boys. Yeah. And the band will be playing Saturday night. Matt Warner, let me tell you what kind of competitor Matt Warner. You would have loved to coach Matt Warner. He's a little undersized, right? But he can shoot gaps. Yeah. He's a gap shooter, right? He can get in the backfield quickly, right? And he's going to leave it all out there. Matt Warner in the championship match threw his paddle twice. The fence that we play at, it's probably 12 feet high. One time it was 6 inches from going over the fence. This guy does not mess around.
I play, they say don't dip into the black. That's where I live. It just is in the black. So,
okay,
yeah.
Sorry for wasting your time, Coach Aldridge.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
No.
Do you play? Have
No,
you played?
I don't play pickleball.
We'll have
no.
to get you out there. It's a good time. I'm not invited to this league, but if you want to go.
Man, only.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not trying to say
So
that.
ridiculous. I'll start my own league. All right, what do you have for Coach on Toledo?
Well, I was going to ask you, you're taking on a dual threat quarterback.
Mhm.
And we were talking earlier about success you guys have had against the KJ Jeffersons, against even the Irons kid for Akron who could run a little bit. The last week, obviously, Pavia did what he did. Do you see that more as, with all the other stuff going on, that's kind of the anomaly? What have you done to find success against some good running quarterbacks previously?
You just got to try to mix it up on them. I don't think you can commit to saying we're going to play soft coverage and just spy him. I don't think you can commit to saying we're just going to pressure and overload him. You got to mix it up, right? Especially solid ones like the ones you were talking about that we've played this year. This guy's no different. I think he does a great job within their offense. They give him very simple, easy reads to make where they don't screw it up. That's what I've said yesterday is what I notice about their offense is they try not to just don't screw it up, right? And just be methodical. And as a defensive coach, a lot of times your mentality is if we just stay on top and don't give up the big play, they'll eventually do something wrong. You're not worried about the yards, you're worried about the points, right? But they do a great job of being methodical and being patient and all those things. And then, like you said, his athleticism allows him to escape things, right? So you might actually get him into a negative play and it turns into a 2-yard gain. Those are the frustrating ones. Those frustrate me more than the scrambles for a first down. It's the ones where you've got them in the backfield and it ends up being a 3-yard gain, right? Because there's a big difference between 2nd and 13 and 2nd and 7. So stuff like that.
What has been it's unbelievable. Lead the nation in tackle for losses. What the combination between scheme and players. Talk about that a little bit and why you guys have had so much success and sacks also. I don't know where they finished in sacks. Fourth, number 1 nation tackle for loss, number 4 in sacks. So what has been your key to success in those 2 areas?
A couple things. One, we had a lot of good players coming back, and my goal was to be much more multiple this year. I think when you watched us this year, you saw us doing a lot of things, and I wanted to do that, but only if our kids could grasp it. And that's a credit to our kids and the off season and them being able to grasp what we put in and all those things and just the multiplicity of being able to move a guy like Darrell Johnson around. Because when you have a great player on defense, those guys can scheme up protections or plays getting away from him. And just having the ability to do so many different things with guys like him and our linebackers, I think was the main reason we could get all those TFLs.
I've seen you move Kendi Charles around, and then you bring him on the twists and from the outside back to inside. And then you get late in the game, and man, when he's in better shape and he bull rushes and he's like, what has he meant to your defense from that aspect?
He's obviously very dynamic. It's really cool for me being here the last 4 years. If you go back and probably watch like all our signing class videos, you'll hear us say about a lot of guys on defense, well, he's really dynamic. He can do multiple things. He's
Matt
really
Warner
dynamic.
always says that on the broadcast.
He's really dynamic. He can do multiple things. And the reason you want guys like that is it allows you to be multiple in scheme.
Yeah.
And also, if there's ever injuries or you have a COVID season and you don't know like who you're going to have week to week, you can move those pieces around and they can play multiple things. So I think we're seeing the fruition of some good signing classes of dynamic players. Yeah. And we want to continue to do that.
That's awesome. Those signing classes, I mean, the level of recruit you guys bring in through the last 4 years, you've talked about that. But talk about once that recruit comes in and is on the roster, how you guys have been able to develop them to another level, throughout your time here.
Well, the first thing is the commitment from the administration nutritionally and the strength staff and all those things. That's a huge part of college football. Our situation from that standpoint is probably better than almost every group of 5. A lot of group of 5s do not have the training table like we have, where we're getting them at least 2 meals a day, right? In our building, right? We're not just saying, I hope you go home and eat, and that's a big deal at the group of 5 level. Hardly any, there's a lot of Power 5s that we have better stuff than in that regard. And then it's just their commitment to buying into our system, right? It's not just a off season, it's a year-round thing and developing their bodies and things like that. And I think you see guys like Kendi Charles who didn't play a whole lot his first year here. Well, it's because he was in the weight room extra, right? So he saw the benefit of that, So that I think you just got to be really intentional when you're developing those guys that way.
Take me into the bowl game. What's unique or different about coaching, if there is, a bowl game as opposed to, week 5, week 6 of a regular season? You have this gap, and then you have this one game. Do you feel like, in terms of what happens on the field, does it feel different? Does it take teams a little longer to kind of find their footing? Is it any different than coaching a game in the middle of the season?
Yes, in years past, and Coach Curtis and I had this discussion because he's obviously coached for a long time, I think the team that usually wins is the team that starts fast, usually, right? Because they don't have to get used to the speed of the game again. And that's what we tried to do the last 3 practices is do a lot against each other and not as much Toledo focus and get our kids back in the speed of the game. You know what I mean? So if we can start fast and not seem like we've had a few weeks off, sometimes you come off a bye week and it's one of 2 things, right? You look really rested or you look slow,
Sluggish, right.
but sluggish because you haven't played, right? So that's kind of been our focus is get back in the speed of the game.
You know what my personal opinion is? It just hit me.
Oh, no way he's going to share this. He's usually so
No, this
shy.
is good. Coach is going to like this. Stop. Coach is going to like this. I'm telling you, Coach, when you go down these bowl games, right? And when are you all leaving?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. See, and you play Tuesday, right?
Yep.
They feed you like crazy.
Yep.
And some of these dudes who do not need to be packing on the pounds, they will eat themselves. They eat themselves into defeat in a bowl game.
You have said that year after year.
I've said that. These teams that go down there, and it's like, dude, you got to be careful. You can't just, you can't lose the game with your fork before the game even starts.
That's a good line.
I need to take that.
Great point.
And go tell Danielle that.
Yeah.
Go tell them, don't have these guys. These guys just, they came on the plane and they weighed 230 pounds. The game starts and they're 240 pounds. And all of a sudden, why are we so sluggish? I'll tell you why. It's the double cheesecake you took up down at the. That's why you're feeling sluggish.
At
the Boca Raton, baby.
All right. What's planned as far as activities down there? Do you know yet?
So there's a beach party.
Oh, you got a beach party.
Hula dance competition.
I think something like that. Yeah.
Coach, I got a hip a paint mixer. I'll be there. So.
That's a new one. That's a new one. I've heard a lot of one-liners. That's a new one.
That's a good one.
Listen to this podcast.
Yeah. There's a beach party. There's a kickoff luncheon. There's several things just around the beach and things.
And how do you play that? Are you playing as like, guys, just go have fun, enjoy it, enjoy the experience? Or do you make it more, do you preach to them more of like, hey, we got to do these things, have fun doing them, but it's a business trip? How do you approach, what's your style and approach?
So we'll get down there the first day and we'll have a pretty early curfew because we have to wake up the next morning and practice. So we'll get down there, get settled in our rooms and have an early curfew, wake up and practice. We'll go to that beach party. After that, we kind of give them some free time to kind of explore. The next day we'll practice again, and I'll give them that again. And then once they wake up on Monday morning, we got to start getting in game mode type deal. I like getting down there and letting them get that out of them, right? Let's compartmentalize it a little bit, right? When we're practicing, we're practicing. When we're not, enjoy yourself.
Right.
But then once Monday comes, it's all ball. Right?
It's all okay.
Yeah, it's all ball.
So they're not doing anything with you guys Monday evening or anything like?
No activities.
There's no activities.
No.
Okay.
So Monday's like a
Game
Friday
time.
before a game. You know what I mean? So I like doing that. Coach Freeze did that, and so I'm going to keep that schedule.
I know you talked about, right now your focus is like all on the guys and helping them out. For you personally, though, like an opportunity to be a head coach in a bowl game. I mean, you're a competitor. Is there a part of you that's just like, this, I want to see what I want to be in that moment. I want to see give me the tough call. Give me the 4th down on my side of the field. Am I going to go or am I going to punt? Give me let's go. How do you feel about just that opportunity?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about paying it. I really never get to watch our offense.
Yeah.
Because I'm over there.
Right.
Covering adjustments, this, that, and the other, and they either score or punt team, this, that, and the other. So I'm eager to be involved with that. And I'm not calling plays, obviously, but to help them, maybe I see something they're doing on defense and things like that. I'm excited about that.
Are you making the calls for when to go for it on 4th down and doing all this? Or are you going to leave it up?
It'll be collective, but
Can I just give you one bit of advice on that?
Oh, okay.
If anything goes wrong, first, if it goes right, you just say, I just knew, I had belief. If it goes wrong, all you have to say is, listen, the book said go.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's all. Like that's the line, and you're good.
Yeah.
That's
Analytics said
across
do it.
all coaching. Yeah, you see it at all levels
Don't have
now.
any
That's
responsibility.
all you have to say,
He-
and everyone just goes, I guess I didn't see the book. He must be right.
I keep joking with everybody. He probably remembers. You remember when there was always a debate whether Houston Nutt was actually calling plays at Arkansas, and they had a big touchdown. And after the game, he came to the report and said, "I called that play, brother." That's what I'm going to say. If it's halftime, we got a big touchdown.
Right.
I'm going to use that line.
That's
I
right.
called that play, brother.
How
right.
much
Yeah.
do you stress? Because here's the thing that gets, as a head coach, like the little things. How much do you stress over? And this is my pet peeve: the clock management. Are you getting yourself in a clock management deal? Are you going to handle the clock management issues, or you got other people around you?
That's probably
when to call timeout, when to, all
That's
that
probably
kind
one
of
of the main things that I'm going to make sure I'm involved with the offense, because I think if somebody else is worrying about the clock, it makes it easier on you as a play caller, right?
Yes.
So you're sitting there
Yes,
calling the
right.
plays.
Yeah.
That person's paying attention to the clock. They're not worried about X's and O's, all that stuff. They're worried about the situation and what's going on. I think I can help with that, and it's just a matter of being on the same page before the game. Hey, this is going to be our style. These situations, this is what we want to do, blah, blah, blah. And then I know that. And so whenever our offense is calling the plays, I can keep an eye on that, and I can be on the same page with them and help them with that. So they're paying attention to the situations, the down and distances, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, hey, clock's this, what we thinking, timeout, all that stuff.
Good.
So
I can tell you, I'm fired up.
I know.
fired
I'm
up.
super
Like
pumped
seriously,
about it.
fired. I know we've all enjoyed so much getting to talk to you over the years. Like I know we're fired up for you to get this
I appreciate
opportunity.
it.
So
Yeah, I
like,
appreciate
I
it.
mean, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I hope you guys come out fast.
yeah,
and
it's
put it
been
on.
a fun a fun week with the kids. The look on their face when Ian told them I was the interim, I could tell, especially the ones I've coached.
Yep.
I mean, they're excited, and so it's been a fun week.
Oh, you could see it on social media too.
Oh, yeah.
They were all giving
Yeah.
you shout outs.
Coach, I've been
excited.
pumping your tires for a while now. Like I told you, I've been pumping your tires. I'm telling you that, and I said this earlier, that you are one of the best young coaches in the nation right now. And I see how your defense is schemed. I see how the players play. I see the toughness in them, the desire in them, the passion in them to do all those things. And a lot of that comes back to a coach who knows to get it out of the players. Some guys can get it out of their players, but they don't understand the schemes. Some guys do the schemes really well, but they don't know how to get their players to play hard. You got the combination of both. So whatever happens, I'm telling you what, you've got a great coaching career ahead of you.
I appreciate that. And, I think the feeling is mutual, and I see how hard work is being done by Alcoa Mortgage.
That was
Oh my
great.
gosh. Now you're a fan for life. He's going to be an Aldridge fan for life.
You can go on the Google machine.
Yeah!
I hear it.
Yeah, pronounce my name.
Yeah,
yeah.
you're ahead of.
You're ahead of a former head
Yes,
coach
yes.
that used
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah.
No, but it's been really cool that the players, not only playing for you, but you like coaching for them too.
Yeah.
I've done so many features on your guys, and it's so crazy. You're running out midfield, like doing a jump,
Yeah,
and it's just really cool. You can tell that bond is real. And,
Yeah,
and
I think it's important, that I've never understood how you can try to get players to play passionately and you don't coach passionately,
Yeah.
right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, So I can't ask them to do something that I'm not going to do. So it's just always been my focus.
So excited. The roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl. Those are my old stomping grounds. I am an FAU alum. So if you
Okay.
need to know, this is how you do the owl.
Is that how you
yeah.
do it?
I'm an FAU owl. We don't have a
Do they really
close
make
up.
people do that?
No, I just made it up.
Right.
But yeah, who go Owls? But I'm really rooting for the Flames
Thanks.
in the Boca Raton Bowl.
Yeah,
Thank you
best
so
of
much
luck.
for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Tear them
Appreciate
up,
it.
coach. Tear them up, baby.
It's the plan.
So love that guy. Aldridge still, his future's undecided, but I know he'll be fine, whatever happens, and it'll be meant to be. But you want to say something, Joe? Go ahead.
Josh Aldridge. I'm telling you, I love that guy.
I love him.
I mean, that dude is one of the best young football coaches in America.
Yeah.
He is outstanding. He can recruit, right? He knows how to
Yeah.
recruit. He knows how to connect with kids. He understands schemes and defenses. And wherever he ends up coaching, and hopefully it's here, but wherever he ends up coaching, that guy's coaching career path is going like this. Straight up.
There's no like cool line that
No,
you
there's-
have.
it's-
like
That's a rocket ship.
I mean,
Speechless.
he came from the LR Bears.
That's
I
right.
mean, he was an LR Bear, Division II LR Bear, And I love the Bears. My
Yeah,
son,
proud
my
lacrosse program.
very proud.
Yeah.
My son played lacrosse there, played for national championship. And guess who else came from the LR Bears?
Who's that?
It's the safety for the Patriots, the starter.
Whose name's escaping?
Oh, his name's
at the
escape.
moment.
That's going to drive me nuts right
Okay,
now.
well, you have a phone.
But hey,
Go to the
circle back.
Google machine.
But he's started for a few years from LR Bears. But no, Josh Aldridge's career, bam, straight up. And hopefully, let's.
Another guy's career who's gone straight up thanks to Alcova Mortgage is our good friend Joe Young.
Kyle Duggar.
Kyle Duggar.
Got it.
Duggar.
There you
Yeah,
go.
starting safety
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
Patriots.
yeah.
LR Bear.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
The-
go
Not sure if
about
you know
your thing.
this, but the
Yeah.
Flame Central podcast is, in fact, powered by the Alcova Mortgage.
That's right.
And Joe Yock is your guy. So if you're looking for a home, you know, he is your guy. Go ahead to the Google.
Or
machine.
if you're down there at the roofclaim.com Boca
Yes.
Bowl, Joe, you may spot him there.
Hey,
and maybe
Joe, what's going on?
Yeah,
How you
hey.
doing, man? Hey, I was thinking about buying a house. I'm
Perfect
like,
time
Why
to-
not?
perfect time
Come
to ask
on,
any
let's
questions.
go play a little golf,
Yeah.
a little pickleball.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk interest rates. We'll talk closing costs. We'll get you all squared away. It's almost
Too easy.
Too easy.
too easy.
But how do we find you?
You go on the Google machine.
Yeah.
You go straight to the Google machine and you type in Joe.
Right.
That's an easy one. to
That's an
spell.
easy one.
That part.
J-U-E.
Yeah.
Stop.
Gosh, I gotta get a new app.
And then the you start on that again.
It's-
And then
it's
we
almost
go
like a nanny.
J-A-U-C-H.
H.
Joe Yock.
H.
Okay.
All right.
My wife used to have a license plate
Yeah.
because nobody knows how to pronounce her name, right? And it's, as we always say, it's Yock, like rock with
Yeah.
a Y,
Right.
right? And so her license plate said, it's I-T-S, Y-O-C-K.
It's Yock.
It's Yock.
There you go.
I love it. Okay, just in case you guys were all wondering how to pronounce it, hopefully the new head coach here at Liberty knows how.
Yeah, right.
We're going to go back to that
Send him
again.
up for that
Okay.
Pronunciation
How many
guide.
years were you
One-
here, Hugh?
one more.
Hey, Hugh, how many years have you been here? How long we been doing
Yeah.
this
Just,
for?
just to look back,
Get outta here.
the development of players, you know, just
Don't
to
let the
touch
door
on
hit
that.
you on the way out.
Joe, salty.
Just to see, oh my gosh, it's the Christmas
Yeah.
time. Let's be nice.
It's Christmas. Okay, so I'm back. I'm
So
back.
we'll talk about Christmas
Yeah.
songs, and that might be my
Yeah.
new worst favorite. Is that one that you just sung? How have you seen the development of players, and not only like the level of player coming into this football program, but the level that they can reach when they leave?
Well, I think we've seen it, especially when we talk about Josh Aldridge, but on the defensive line, where he has been until this
Yes.
season. You think about a guy like a Kendi Charles, who hadn't played a ton of football, and yet you've seen the growth from him. You've seen it from a Darrell Johnson, who was a safety, and you've seen him grow and become one of the more dominant defensive ends in college football, and an absolute force. So, yeah, that is where it's been really exciting watching the growth of guys more than any other, I think, is on that D line. Some of those young guys that have continued to improve year after year. When they got here, there's like, yeah, there might be some raw talent, but now you've seen them playing not just with that talent, you've seen them playing smart within the scheme, you see them doing what they're coached to do, and that's what's helped this defense thrive so much.
So you think it's safe to say Darrell Johnson will be seeing him play on Sundays?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, when you look at like in the NFL, you have to meet. There's a frame category, like to be 6'4" and have long arms and to be able to reach out. And these tackles are big and they're good. Like you have to be able to extend and move. And Darrell Johnson can do all those things. But it's not just that. You look. I'm telling you this, and people don't believe me. But I'm telling you,
Yeah, he
you
speaks the
look.
truth.
You look at the Liberty defense across the board.
Yeah.
There are guys that Kendi Charles could potentially play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Darrell Johnson has a shot to play in the NFL. Will play in the NFL. Mike Smith is legit.
Yeah.
Telling you, that's a sleeper right there. Mike Smith Jr., and I talked to him after the New Mexico State game. I have to see him on the way out, and I was like, dude, you need to keep your head up. You need to keep your head up and move forward because you can play, and you can play at the next level. You look at how athletic Rocket Rahimi is. You know, so you're talking about. I don't think Liberty's defense ever seen this before. It's like there are dudes, whether that's in the NFL. I look at a guy like Trayshawn Clark, a little bit undersized, right? But could he go up to Canada and play? You know, like a Frankie Hickson type of player? Yeah, absolutely. Right? That's a guy right there. And so, you know, whether that's NFL, whether it's CFL, whatever it may be, the USFL, I think they've got a USFL
XFL's
guy.
coming back,
The
yeah.
XFL's coming back. There's guys that can go to the next level and get paid to play football. So and there's people all over the place, and they're only going to get more.
Right.
Only gonna end up
Exciting
getting
time.
more.
Yeah, especially with Coach
But that goes back to
Shadwell.
what you said. It wasn't these guys were NFL ready
Right.
when they showed up.
They were developed.
Right? It's like that says a lot for the defensive staff, expect the ability to find talent that goes a little bit under the radar and then develop that talent to put them in a position to be NFL ready.
That's definitely rare. Okay, well, excited to see how that continues to grow. And these guys are developed with the Coach Chadwell staff coming in. Okay, so we want to get to bold predictions, or do we want to do a little Christmas segment?
Let's do a Christmas segment.
Christmas segment.
The
worst-
folks are dying to hear the inside of Christmas segment from us.
I know.
really believe it.
What
On the edge
is
of their seats.
what is the Yacht Talk Christmas tradition? Give me like either a funny story or a tradition
Oh, there's
from
a
the
lot
Yacht
of funny
family.
There's
I
a
mean,
lot of fun-
ones that are
There's
Liberty.
a lot of funny stories, but they're probably not very appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's just focus on Liberty Way.
You're gonna keep this on the Liberty Way?
Yeah, please. I mean, we do work for the
Yeah.
Yacht.
Okay, I'll give you a good one. I'll give you a good one.
Alright.
The Yacht, and it happens in our kitchen at our house, at my house. We have the Yacht. There's the Yacht compound,
Yeah,
right? Because
right.
you got the Yachts, and then you got the Stennetts. It's my brother-in-law and his
We're a
wife.
prize friend.
Yeah, that's right. And then you got my in-laws, my father, and we're on this big, large spread complex. And so we come together, and we have karaoke night.
Oh gosh.
It's
Oh,
karaoke
wow.
night in the Yacht kitchen, and but I've got one of the when Jared Yacht, my oldest son, we somehow somewhere like underneath the couch we found a pair of the Elvis glasses. it had the chops that
Yeah,
came
yeah.
down right there, and when by Toby Keith and Willie Nelson and Jared Yacht sang "Beer for My Horses,"
Yeah.
it was an absolute classic.
We
right?
got to dig that video.
Yeah, you gotta dig
Yeah.
that video
Yeah.
up. So yes, karaoke night is it.
All right, what about the Warner household?
The biggest one that the kids love is just the it's cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning.
Oh,
so
see?
we
yeah,
put
I've heard
away,
about these.
So
We
I've
put
heard
away
about
the
these.
cinnamon rolls
Yeah.
on Christmas morning. So yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, so my Aunt Karen,
I love Aunt Karen.
Aunt Karen, yeah,
She's the best.
she stitched
Never
a
met her.
nativity scene for my mom and our family like years and years ago, probably 35 years ago. Okay,
Nativity
but the
scene?
baby Jesus looks like a chicken nugget. Okay,
Wow.
so.
Don't do that.
We hide baby. It's like a tradition that you don't tell the other sibling or whatever. You're just like, go find chicken nugget Jesus.
And-
So we hide baby Jesus, and like those in a kitchen. Mine was the best last year.
Like
No one
hide it in
found
the
it.
house?
You hide baby
Somewhere in the
Jesus around
house.
the house.
Oh.
And and it's funny because sometimes you just like are doing something random
There
and then
it
you
is.
just find
There it is,
chicken
yeah.
chicken nugget Jesus. So is this okay? This isn't against the Liberty Way. We love Jesus.
Yeah.
So mine was the best. No one found mine last year for days, okay? Because like those massive spoons and forks that you hang on the wall in your kitchen. I put baby Jesus on the fork. I didn't puncture him,
Yeah.
but I hid him in between two of the prongs,
Yeah.
and no one looked up to find baby Jesus
Never
for
found
like
him.
days.
No.
But baby Jesus is back in his in the warm.
They call it a manger.
Yeah. Well, no, I was gonna say cradle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so that's our tradition around.
It's called
that.
a manger.
No, I knew that. I was
Yeah.
talking about his. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the worst Christmas song. We've talked about this years ago. What is your worst Christmas song, Matt Warner?
My least favorite Christmas song, there's two. So This Is Christmas by John Lennon.
So this is Christmas.
Brutal song. Can't,
And a happy
flip it
New
off every time,
Year.
change it. Yeah.
That's-
Emily doesn't know. That actually was
do
better.
know that
was
song.
actually better than the original
Yeah, I
recording.
do know that song.
And then Santa Baby in all its variations.
Santa baby.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
creepy.
Yeah.
I think
You gotta sing
mine
Santa Baby.
is.
Santa
Yeah,
baby.
right, yeah.
Like you're in a lounge.
That's right, Vegas
Baby,
Lounge, yeah.
under
Yeah.
the tree
Yeah.
for me.
Okay. Yeah.
That's worse than that.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite is the hippopotamus one.
Oh,
I
yeah,
want a
that's pretty bad.
hippopotamus for
Stupid.
Christmas.
That's a bad one.
It's
Stupid.
just
That's a bad
obnoxious to me.
Stupid. All right, I'm going to give you a best and a worst.
Okay.
I have to do my best.
Okay.
All right. You know, best or worst first?
Best.
Best first is going to be,
He takes it so seriously.
it's very serious. It's
Yeah.
by far, it puts me in the Christmas spirit.
Okay.
Last Christmas by Wham.
Wow, really?
Not by Taylor Swift.
Right.
And don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love
You're
me
a
some T
Swiftie.
Swift.
I know you
I
are.
love me some T Swift.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
Beeb's Christmas. You gotta
But
look.
Last
Justin Bieber.
Christmas by Wham
Okay.
is my favorite.
Okay.
Okay. Least favorite? Christmas shoes.
Christmas shoes. That has been, I believe I looked it up last year.
Christmas shoes
Is the
were-
least favorite Christmas song
Worst song
of all
ever.
time.
It doesn't make sense.
It's not great.
It's too sad.
It is very sad.
I'll keep you guys posted on where I'm hiding baby Jesus on my Twitter account. Let's get to bold predictions. Toledo and Liberty taking part in the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl.
Powered by Alcova.
Tuesday, is that the 20th? Tuesday the 20th. Bold predictions.
On ESPN. All right, here we go. Bold prediction for me, it kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier. Liberty with 3 interceptions, so they get back on the turnover train. Javon Scruggs leads the team in tackles and has 1 of the interceptions.
And do we have a final score prediction?
Yeah, give it to him.
I will say Liberty 27.
Oh, don't take
Toledo 17.
Okay. I was going to say Darrell Johnson with a certain number of sacks, but I'm going to go just like the defense in general gets 5 sacks in the game, and Liberty wins 27-24.
Nice. I like it.
Okay.
Matt's writing them down. We are growing up so much.
Yeah.
That is really something this season that we have taken it above and beyond, writing these down and actually holding each other accountable.
Okay, before I get to my bold prediction.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any other star items on your sheet you'd like to do?
Before I get to my bold prediction, let's talk about Perry Boone.
Okay, tell me
Perry Boone from Toledo is 6 feet, 235 pounds, transferred from Maryland.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got one of those trunks you see in a California forest.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. Let's also talk about number 8, Devin Maddox.
Let's do it.
He's from Lakewood, Ohio.
Oh.
But he's
You guys play into each other, and it's just
he's only 5'9", 175 pounds.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But he's fast.
Yeah.
He's twitchy.
How fast?
Oh, he's fast. He's fast, he's twitchy, and has more wiggle than a 6-year-old in a church service.
Christmas Eve church.
Yeah, Christmas
service.
Eve. You could have
Waiting to get home. I know. You can run these by me before if you want to make.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Is that it? Okay.
All right,
I think that's
no
it. Okay, bold predictions is. Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
I'm
ready.
ready.
Got it.
Okay. I'm gonna say, and who knows who's playing quarterback.
Right.
Could be Kane Salter, could be Jonathan Bennett, whoever. Okay. I'm gonna say we're gonna get three quarterback rushing touchdowns. 3 quarterback rushing touchdowns.
Wow.
Okay. And the man who's going to go off because it's going to be his show, Demario Douglas goes for over 150 combined rushing and receiving yards.
Okay. And what's your score prediction?
And the final score prediction is the Flames do it again, hold the offense of Toledo to under 21, and they win the game 28-20.
28-20.
Bada bing.
You heard it here first.
You
Chain
heard
it
it
up.
here first.
Let's pray.
I'll say,
Yeah,
and
this is
Joe's
really interesting because
batting average on bold predictions has been pretty good.
It has been really well. And just to remind you guys, we don't have an update on the Flames Fantasy League because obviously they haven't played.
We will.
But this will be the final game of the season to see who
just
takes
a reminder.
the
crown. She put the crown on.
Joe leads by about 5 points going in.
6 weeks ago, she put the crown on herself.
I'm back. I'm done.
Okay, so it's basically within
a fork in them.
Joe Yock and I are within 5 points.
So my guys all bounced out. They're like,
talk about loyalty and Matt Warner.
Yeah, killing me.
I think that I'm going to take the crown. Down 5, going into the bowl game. Let's go. Demario Douglas does.
Oh, why did I just give Demario Douglas? She's got Demario Douglas, doesn't she?
No, you have Demario.
I got Demario.
Oh my gosh, you don't even know your team.
Right.
Talk about loyalty. He doesn't even care.
I got my team.
Hey, by the way, can I mention real fast?
Yes.
Next week, the plan right now is to do a Flame Central podcast.
Powered by
Alcova Mortgage. First thing Wednesday morning.
Yes.
So bowl game Tuesday night. You're gonna be back in town, correct?
I'm in the airplane after the game.
Perfect.
We're back here.
Perfect. Just come straight to the studio, sleep in my office.
Leave a cot.
And so first thing Wednesday morning, we'll have reaction to the bowl game, and we'll get that out Wednesday.
Yes, thank you for that reminder. Sorry, it's been a little interesting with the Christmas holidays and doing the podcast. We know that you guys basically drive home every Monday listening to the Flame Central podcast.
And we're still efforting. We're going to get Coach Chadwell on.
Yes, Coach Chadwell will be on. It might be next year, you know.
See that?
Okay, thanks so much for listening or watching. For Matt and Joe, I'm Emily. Merry Christmas. We'll see you
and a happy new
next Wednesday.